Thanks for coming. This is, we don't keep track anymore, but it's our second year doing kitchen table talks, and every time it gets more exciting and fun, and it's all because of all of you, so thank you for being here. I wanted to introduce my co-organizers. I'm Anna Ghosh. Naomi Starkman is up here. Jen Dalton she probably took your money. Layla Azimi and Susan Koss are not with us tonight, but they're a very integral part of our team. And then Eric Cohen, Eric in the back there, our winemaker. And we have two really exciting new additions to our team, which this is the first time we're going to be introducing them in public. Bruce Cole. Bruce Cole, where are you, Bruce? Hiding in the back. And Jen Mazer. So welcome to the team, and thank you for all your hard work. Very exciting. Before I get started on introducing our amazing, illustrious panel of mushroom experts, I want to let everyone know we have 4 trivia prizes. So hopefully you haven't had too much wine yet, and can brush up on your mushroom trivia. Progressively, the questions are going to get harder and harder. So, we have 3 gift certificates and a mushroom basket.
Okay, sorry.
So that's the trivia prizes. Very exciting. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce our speakers. And the first speaker, who actually is going to make us all our mouths water completely this evening, is Eric Tucker on the far right. He is the executive chef of Millennium, and he has made some tasty nibbles for us this evening. The first one I'm going to have him just quickly talk about, and then our volunteers are going to pass it around.
Go ahead.
Okay, you're gonna get a little bowl that has 4 little items on it. One is a spring roll using tofu skin, yuba, which sort of coincides with David from Gourmet Mushrooms. Actually, I believe you're using some of the Hodo soy byproduct as a growing medium. So I'm using their tofu skin, and I've actually did a filling of tofu with chanterelle mushrooms. And yeah, chanterelles, unfortunately, they're not local. We're out, a couple days ago, we're out in the woods of Oakland, northern, eastern Oakland, and not too much luck, so the chanterelles from someplace up north. The rest of them are all from Gourmet Mushrooms. There's 2 types of marinated, sort of pickled mushrooms. The lighter of the 2 are a mixture of clamshell mushrooms with king trumpet mushrooms, and that preparation is where one actually boils the mushroom in a vinegar, water, and salt medium, drains it, then you put like a flavorful oil over it and let it kind of marinate in there. The second one is what happens when you take the same mushrooms and saute the mushrooms. They're darker, and the flavor profile is a lot different, and which we'll kind of get back to that, some of the different amino acid chains and how they interact with heat. And there's a little taste of velvet piapini. It's a little mushroom with a little dark cap. Just sauteed a little bit of tamari, just because to show off that mushroom is a really intriguing mushroom in terms of its flavor. Some grilled oyster mushrooms. Standard oyster mushrooms you can get in any store, which reason to show off the grilled oyster mushrooms because oyster mushrooms have one of the more higher concentrations of glutamic acid, which is an amino acid. Actually, yeah, sure, I'll take it. I got these little oyster mushrooms, and what happens when they hit the grill, the amino acid chains of mushrooms are closer, than most vegetables to the sort of animal kingdom. So there's some similarities in terms of the amino acids. And what happens when they hit high heat, It denatures the proteins, and it kind of interacts with the little trace amounts of natural sugars and basically caramelizes. And you get this rich, meaty umami, which is sort of the Japanese sort of fifth flavor profile, which is a savory profile. And mushrooms, also, as well as like soy products like tofu and the yuba skin, have a lot of this, sort of savory profile. On the vegetable kingdom, things like tomatoes, some of the vegetables in the brassica family, have a decent amount of glutamic acid, which also gives that kind of meaty quality when they hit high heat. And obviously, the animal kingdom that's henceforth meaty. So yeah, I mean, real simple preparation. Throw some oyster mushrooms on a hot grill, a little bit of garlic, some thyme, some again soy sauce factors, because again soy sauce is fermented soybean using a mushroom, basically a mold, a yeast to break it down. So it has more of those savory compounds and a little bit of paprika, and you get some good tasting mushrooms.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so that is, we're already kidding. Yes. Okay, I'll do that after I introduce the speakers. Can I do that? Okay. So Ken Litchfield, right here, he is going to be our moderator. So he's actually going to kind of facilitate the conversation between the speakers. And Ken is a mushroom cultivation instructor at Merritt College. He's a naturalist, and he lives and works on a farm in the East Bay. And I don't think I've ever met anyone who knows more about mushrooms or lots of other things than Ken. And then to Ken's left, we have David Law, who is the president and CEO of Gourmet Mushrooms, based in Sebastopol. The company was the first to cultivate shiitake mushrooms commercially in North America. And we were talking probably in the world, but definitively he can say definitely he was the first to cultivate shiitake mushrooms in North America, starting in 1977. David and his partner have become pioneers in promoting fungi, and it's fungi, correct? It's not fungi. For good health.
Depends on what you're with.
And he now Gourmet Mushrooms now sells dozens of varieties of nutraceutical fungi and gourmet mushrooms for delicious dishes like the one you're enjoying now, prepared by Eric. And then next to David, we have Toby Garrone, who owns and operates Far West Fungi. And you've probably seen Toby possibly at your local farmers market. They are in farmers markets across the Bay Area, as well as the Ferry Plaza store. And they have a 60,000 square foot farm in Moss Landing down in Monterey Bay. And Toby's going to talk a little bit more about how she got involved in this crazy world of mushroom cultivation. So from there, before I turn it over to Ken, I want to give a big gracious thank you to Byright, who donated all of the lovely food that you enjoyed when you first got here today, and wine. And also Viracocha Gallery, which donates this beautiful space that we're all in tonight. And 3 of the gifts I guess I should talk about our trivia gifts. So some motivation. So this is one of the gifts from Gourmet Mushrooms. It's a beautiful basket. And what is the retail value on that basket, David, would you say?
It's Costco.com, $40.
And Kitchen Table Talks, so the organizers of Kitchen Table Talks have purchased gift certificates to Viracocha, which is this beautiful gallery upstairs. It's an antique shop gallery, and we'll be giving out 2 $25 gift certificates and a $50 gift certificate for Viracocha as your trivia prizes. So something to look forward to. And I'll go ahead and hand it over to Ken. And I should also warn you that you're going to have keep your hands free, because you're going to have lots of things to pass and enjoy throughout the course of the talk, including more food. So.
Hello everyone, I'm Ken Litchfield and I teach mushroom cultivation up at Merritt Community College. Is everybody here okay?
No.
No. Should I speak louder or should I just project the microphone?
Yeah, maybe put it closer to you.
Is this better?
Yes.
Everybody want to do a test? Can you all hear?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
Everybody okay? Yep. All right, good. Well, as I understand it, I'm going to give you a little bit of preliminaries on what the mushroom is and what the mycelium is and something about how all this works as far as the mushroom kingdom goes. We teach mushroom cultivation, and so you can divide mushrooms up into lots of very difficult, usually, to understand relationships between the different kinds of mushrooms. So maybe you've opened up a mushroom book and you look through there and you look at all the beautiful pictures of all these mushrooms, but you don't really have a comprehension of why is this one next to this one and so forth. Or sometimes you go up and you actually look in the front where they explain it to you and they show some outlines of these are related to those and so forth. Well, usually the handle you have to get on that to really follow it takes you quite a few years, especially to be comfortable with going out in the wild and picking something that you can comfortably say, I'm going to take this home and I'm going to cook it in the pan and eat it safely. But there is another way that you can organize the mushrooms, and that is by how their lifestyle is. So basically, most of the mushrooms that you have eaten here today and are grown by both Toby and David are what are called saprobic mushrooms. They live on dead stuff, like mulch, wood chips, tree trunks, anything made of cellulose or broken down cellulose like compost. So those are saprobic mushrooms. Typically you see these folks will say, oh, they're saprophytic. Well, a saprophyte, a phyte means a plant. So that's an old term when mushrooms used to be considered to be plants. And they really haven't been considered to be plants for quite a long time, but that term kind of hangs in there. So more accurately, a saprobe is an organism that lives on dead stuff. It doesn't have to be a mushroom, but we say these mushrooms are saprobic, they live on dead stuff. You all live on dead stuff. Typically, you don't eat a living thing, you eat something dead, so you're all saprobes too. So you all have something in common with the mushroom kingdom.
Sushi.
Sushi, yes, well, you don't actually hold the flopping fish and bite into it and then suck its juices out like some parasites do. So that would be the concept. We're going to get a little gross tonight, I think, on some things. So the one thing to keep in mind is there are 3 other methods that the lifestyles go by, and that is that the typical mushrooms, or many of the gourmet mushrooms that you might know about, are mycorrhizal or symbiotic with the roots of trees. And so those would be like your well-known chanterelles. And if you would like to reach right down there in the corner there of this first box right there, further back, yes, there's 2 chanterelles in there. You can pass those around. These mushrooms they're bringing from the wild. They're coming from Toby and David both brought a bunch of samples here from their farms, and so we will be looking at those, passing them around. You can handle them. I brought some mushrooms from the fungus fair that we had this weekend. How many of you got to go to the fungus fair this weekend? We announced it. We didn't do a very good job of advertising, did we? So it was at the Lawrence Hall of Science every year, first weekend of December, and next year it'll probably still be there, but we might go back to the Oakland Museum if you've ever been to the Oakland Museum version of it. And anyway, we brought a bunch of mushrooms. I brought a bunch of mushrooms left over from the fair so you could see some hands-on. Well, saprobic mushrooms and the mycorrhizal mushrooms are the 2 of the most common ones. Boletus edulis, like the porcinis, matsutakis, candy caps, chanterelles, black chanterelles, yellowfeet. Lots of these things grow in association with the roots of a tree. So for example, porcinis are the fruit of a pine tree. So you've heard of nut pines. Well, down at the roots, they're always producing mushrooms, and swillus mushrooms or slippery jacks are a nice mushroom that you can eat, but most people are really